Hey, what's going on, Mayhem Fitness? Welcome back to the channel. We're about to go out and get a little bike ride in. I'm thinking probably anywhere between 8 and 12 miles. We're going to try to go visit a local bike shop that I talked to quite a bit. They actually said they have some new bikes in today. I've been thinking about trading my bike in. I'm looking at potentially doing an electric e-bike. Not with this one, but maybe trading my road bike that's 3 years old now. They have a similar version with the disc brakes and a little bit different geometry, so I'm thinking about looking at that bike. So we're going to maybe take a look at that today. We're going to take a look at the Domane today, so we're going to do the Domane AL3. 72 degrees out, sunny skies. First really warm day we've had towards the end of March. It's March 18th, so looking forward to sharing this one with you. We'll get out and we'll shoot some footage on the road, and we'll come back and talk to you in just a bit. Alright guys, so heading down to the bike store near the house. It's like a mile and a half. Nice easy ride. Awesome day, 72 degrees out. Pretty sunny skies. The roads aren't terrible today, so that's good. So I'm hoping we can talk today about maybe what the next upgrade on this bike would be. So yeah, we're excited to get out and share this with you. It's always fun. I love riding outside. As much as I enjoy the Pelotons, and I had that 500 Peloton ride yesterday, I love riding outside. The only thing that sucks, you gotta be careful, obviously, people paying attention. And I always talk about when I'm riding, you know, I have my helmet on, it's bright blue. And I follow all the rules of the road, so, you know, stop sign, we stop. I'm not trying to, you know, get myself in a situation where people hate bicycle people because they all do dumb shit and run the lights and don't follow the rules, and then they wonder why someone gets pissed off and they cut them off. You gotta be smart when you're doing this. So, all right, back in a second. All right, guys, so we went over, we test drove the new bike. Honestly, it wasn't enough of a difference for me with the disc brakes and a slightly upgraded drivetrain to justify the price difference. They would have given me like $300 for this bike, which I paid a little over $1,000 3 years ago for. I upgraded the brakes, the tires, so I probably got like $1,400 into this bike. It just wasn't worth the upgrade. So what I did do today though is I picked up a new cell phone holder and I bought a more traditional seat. I was running with kind of a more comfortable seat from when I was bigger, and that seat over the long rides, believe it or not, the more comfortable, the more cushy, didn't feel as good over the long ride. So I actually switched back to a kind of a more traditional road bike seat, which I think I'm gonna like. So that's what we did today, and then we're gonna bring the bike in next week before I go on vacation and drop them off to get chains put on this one and the Marlin. So we're gonna upgrade the bikes, both of those, put new chains on, get that done, and then we'll go from there and figure out, yeah, what's kind of the next option for us on the bike. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty fun, excited to be able to go through and ride. So yeah, we're gonna go now and do another, I don't know, 7 or 8 miles on the bike. We're gonna hit one of our worst rides that I hate, this overhill. So yeah, I'll come back and show you that in a little bit. This is just a really steady, long uphill over a highway overpass that sucks. It's probably my least favorite out of all the rides I do. So I'll come back and show you that in just a minute. All right, guys. So you've seen me do this ride the other way many times with this downhill, which is one of my fastest downhills. Now you're gonna see me do it the opposite way, which sucks because it's long and steady and steep, and it's just not a lot of fun. So we'll get into it. We'll see how all these hill rides on the Peloton do. But here's what sucks on this. You're gonna see this on video and you'll be like, that doesn't look steep at all, because somehow video just doesn't really capture how steep stuff is. But it is steep and it does suck. So yeah, interesting ride. So I'll give you the I'll record most of it as we're going up. You guys will see. We'll try to stay in the seat as much as we can on a little bit of a lower gear. This is where clipless pedals would help a ton, because in a ride like this going uphill right now with just the flat pedals, I'm only getting the effort on the downstroke, not the up. Because when you wear flat pedals, I'm sorry, clipless, on the up, your knees are pulling back up, so you're actually working both ways On this, it's just the down on the pedal stroke, so a little tough. Get those highway overpasses too. You gotta give up your momentum on some of these so you don't get creamed, which is also a little interesting. What's strange on this is it just goes on for a long time. It's not like the steepest hill, because I definitely ride steeper. It's just that this gets steep, goes into a hill, and then gets steep again. So just kind of never ending is what makes this one a little tougher. Like, we're only going like 9 miles an hour, which is really slow. I typically don't get below 10 miles an hour on my ride, so yeah, this one is a little tougher. But man, March 18th, 73 degrees out, I'm out in shorts and a t-shirt. I'm never gonna complain, so yeah. Guys, so that's the end of the uphill for the most part. I'll come back around again in a minute and show you, once we get over the uphill, what some of that looks like. So let's hustle here and get by, and I'll come back and see you in just a minute. All right guys, so coming up to the end of our ride. I think we'll probably do like 8 miles today. You know, this part's pretty easy. You know, I was on a little bit of a more narrow street. When you have a wide breakdown lane like this, it's pretty good to ride. It starts to get a little dicey. Even now, like, kind of getting that first ride back in outside, I'm a little squeamish. It's funny, right? Like, you're so used to it. Like, by middle of summer, I've ridden 1,000,000 miles outside. I feel completely comfortable again. But now getting back into it, like, I don't know. I'm not trusting the people. The other thing too is people just aren't used to seeing you back in the road again yet. So, like, my wife gets really nervous about me riding. I get it. Like, you see things like Sean Bradley getting paralyzed, you know, the former NBA player. The guy's 7'6". I mean, he must be riding a huge bike. Like, how do people not see him? And it does make you nervous when you're out there. Like I said, the only advice I can give you is, you know, wear your helmet, wear your protective gear, be visible, so bright colored clothes whenever you can. You know, usually I'd wear my bike jersey, but I was going to the bike shop today, So, and then, just keep an eye out on the side traffic, follow the rules of the road. I don't even try to make left turns. So if I have to, what I'll try to do is on a turn, on a busy street for a left turn, I'll make the right turn when possible, and then I'll cut straight across at the light. It adds a minute or two to the ride, but from a safety standpoint, to me, it just makes sense where I'll be able to kind of control that a little better. So I'll come back to you one more time as we get a little closer to home. Just kind of finish up the ride. But thanks for checking out the first spring ride. Hopefully many more. I'm looking at potentially getting an e-bike, upgrading my mountain bike, so that'll all be on the channel soon. That's what we're thinking. So we have potentially 4 bikes this summer that we can kind of do some comparisons on and talk about value, rides, all that stuff. I look at the e-bike, I want to use it to help commute, but also I really do want to compare, like, how do I do on a pretty good road bike like this, where I can get a pretty good pace versus an e-bike, obviously with the pedal assist up to a 5. That, the one I'm looking at can do 28 miles an hour. My top speed I've ever hit on this bike is just under 33. So if I'm consistently in the 20s versus on this bike when I'm 16, 17 on a good ride for the whole ride, I'm very curious to see how that is and how it impacts calories, workout, the whole thing when I go through and do it. So come back and see you in just a minute, then we'll share the rest of the difference with you. What's always funny this time of year for me is, I do consider this a spring ride, right? Because it's March 18th, spring's in like 3 days, but everything's so barren. My wife and I were talking to the New England area. If you live up in the Boston area anyway, where we're like 20 minutes outside of the city, everything just changes over like a 10-day period of time. So this will all be barren for probably 2 to 3 more weeks, and then just mid-April, everything just blooms at the same time, and all of a sudden I'll go out for a ride, and now that it's got a little cloudy, it looks very gloomy. You wouldn't know if it was mid-February or mid-January and 25 degrees, or end of mid-March and 70, which it is right now, because it all looks the same. But in literally like 3 weeks, this whole thing will just completely change, and it'll be awesome. Coming to my favorite part of the ride here, where we get a pretty good downhill after we get this little uphill. We go down here, you'll see on the other side of this, probably a quarter of a mile up, there's a slight uphill that sucks a little bit, and then we get right back into a really nice downhill where we'll get some good speed into that mid to high 20s, and then we get over to the road back to the house and we'll finish up. So I'll hit that downhill with you. I'm gonna be quiet once I hit that. So what I'll say now is, thank you as always for checking out the channel. I know last year our spring ride was maybe our most popular ride of the year. You guys really seem to enjoy it, so hopefully you enjoy this one too. And I do really look forward to getting a lot more bike content this year. We had a shit ton of rain last year that just kind of screwed everything up. So my goal this year is to get a lot more biking videos in, to share with you some more century rides, even maybe some double century rides, some commuting rides on the e-bike. So some really cool, fun stuff that'll tie back into this fitness journey. And as always, thank you for checking us out. If you haven't subscribed, like I said a lot recently, why the hell not? Let's do it. Hit that subscribe button. We'll talk to everybody soon. Now I'm going to be quiet, hit this downhill at a pretty good pace, then we'll shut off the camera and we'll talk to everybody really soon on our fitness update this week. So have a great day, everybody.